我这么过分。
Very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Done from Crit, and now also, so looking at this mid matchup,
very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Ooh, they do.
Uh-oh.
And with that, the flame guard's up. He'll run down Chris. Won't look to dive the tower, but you saw the potential there, Chris. He was able to get the stun off him. damage was limited that the Arbet could get out onto Chris during that stun from Crit.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain. Done from Crit, and now also, so looking at this mid matchup,
Very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Some help, of course, with Jira coming in, and they will be double checking these.
Ooh, they do. And with that, the Flame Guard's up. It'll run down Chris. Won't look to dive the tower, but you saw the potential there, Chris. He was able to get the stun off him. Damage was limited that the Arbet could get out onto Chris during that stun from Crit.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain. Done from Crit, and now also, so looking at this mid matchup,
Very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Some help, of course, with Jira coming in, and they will be double checking these.
Ooh, they do. And with that, the Flame Guard's up. It'll run down Chris. Won't look to dive the tower, but you saw the potential there, Chris. He was able to get the stun off him. Damage was limited that the Arbet could get out onto Chris during that stun from Crit.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain. Done from Crit, and now also, so looking at this mid matchup,
Very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Some help, of course, with Jira coming in, and they will be double checking these.
Ooh, they do.
BeastCoast were grounded. They weren't expecting it to be able to have its strengths in the laning stage.
It's
All the other parts.
You saw the potential there, Chris. He was able to get the stun off him. Damage was limited that the Arbet could get out onto Chris during that stun from Crit.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain. Done from Crit, and now also, so looking at this mid matchup,
Very much one of the supports of the tournament.
Some help, of course, with Jira coming in, and they will be double checking these.
Ooh, they do.
BeastCoast were grounded. They weren't expecting it to be able to have its strengths in the laning stage. All the other parts.
You saw the potential there, Chris. He was able to get the solo
element of it, so he can get that 6 as soon as possible.
Yeah, and he can
was
pull
limited
in
that
himself, and there's not really a way that he dies to the Marauder or lifesteal. I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain.
In turn, Crit, he's like
Crit, and now also, looking at this mid matchup, huge play from Gojira. Stops the TP back from Abed from the low coming in. That new stun cast range, that's 750. Pretty much everything there.
BeastCoast were grounded. They weren't expecting it to be able to have its strengths in the laning stage. He will still be able to maintain control around the 6 there, Chris. There's a haste stream for Arbet. He was able to get the solo
because he did get that TP cancelled for the fill up. Yeah, and he can pull in himself, and there's not really a way that he dies to the Marauder or lifesteal. I was gonna say, I wonder if Abed does look to grab an early point and chain.
In turn, Crit, he's like
Crit, and now also, looking around the mid matchup, huge play nothing too crazy. Stops the TP back from Abed from the low coming in. That new stun cast range, that's 750. Pretty much everything there.
BeastCoast were grounded. They weren't expecting it to be able to have its strengths in the laning stage. He will still be able to maintain control around the 6 there, Chris. There's a haste stream for Arbet. He was able to get the solo
because he did get that TP cancelled for the fill up. Yeah, and he can pull in himself, and there's not really a way that he dies to the Marauder or lifesteal.
When you are trying to scale up against the league,
that new stun cast range, that's 750. Most core items, yeah, and he can pull in himself, and there's not really a way that he dies to the
This is, I think, the temptation, to skip the armlet. Sometimes when you're trying to play this matchup, and you're going to be farming for the most part. You're not looking to turn up to fights with that first item. You're just looking to clear through the jungle, clear through your half of the map.
I guess that's the reason, right? He's under no contention. Even when they do bring heroes to his lane, he's like, they can't actually threaten me too much. So I'm just going to be.
Secret. Deep in BeastCoast half of the.
Just soaking down bottom, they know that Hector is just full jungling. Actually find anything though. Nightfall, still level 5.
Be able to get Gojira here. A Frostbite. And with both spells on cooldown, has the Ferret Fire, but another leap's there from Crit. He'll go and take the kill. Chris able to find flight in return back in the river.
I was gonna trade for it. Abed with the DD. Very strong rune on the Ember Spirit early on here with the max light.
Chris has got to stay right back.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows that if Arbet hits another slight, very likely that Arbet will dive the tower for him.
Yeah,
Chris gets right back and into the triangle.
Perhaps you just wait for that one to disappear before you walk back toward that mid lane for sure. Yeah, but that does mean tower pressure. Abed and Crit able to hit mid tower. TP to mid, will he get the bottle refill in time? He does so.
Radiant should look to
And yeah, talking about Abed, you know, we saw that he had a bit of a rough one in the last game. He actually has a much easier game this time versus all these, you know, doesn't have as many stuns that he has to worry about. Last game, it's like everyone had a disable. This time, it's the Nyx and the Lash that he has to worry about mostly, so a lot freer of a time. Carapace is really annoying.
It is very.
So.
Very much. Bottom Nightfall. I'm going to drop the roar straight away to give him a chance to run.
Uh-oh.
And Whisper. Primal split to the ready, and already a bit of a body block coming in with K1 and the micro of his illusions. Leaves no escape for Nightfall. So, roar expended. Wasn't able to get out alive. At the same time, at another entry point in the jungle, they find Crit hovering around the stairs. So, a couple of kills for BeastCoast. And they make sure that EG does not feel too safe coming back over to their half of the map.
And Whisper, he actually used the Thunderclap, totally missed the neutral creeper, otherwise he would have probably been able to kill it a little earlier. Might still be able to get it with the next one. But making sure, he actually was maximizing when they used the split to kill the beast, and okay, can't get it. When he used the split to kill the beast earlier, he actually used the Dispel to kill the boar and everything too, so he actually maximized quite beautifully on this brew.
At the moment, sitting the lowest of the cores in terms of net worth, but if anything, from his previous performances in a go-by, you know the Whisper's going to be catching up very, very soon. Always ends up incredibly rich here, even from the offlane position.
And he wants to be a little bit more like active of moving around just because he doesn't want to sit in the lane versus a lifestealer so much, so looking for these constant kills and pressure on the lanes.
Yeah, and of course we'll get to the point in this game where it's K1 playing a Naga Siren. He's going to be soaking up all the waves, he'll be taking the majority of the farm that presents itself on the map. So a bit, sort of a different spread of value that you'll expect to see grow for each of BeastCoast cores this time round.
See what EG can find. Whisper, he shows himself, he's quite durable though.
Split, still on cooldown. TP reactions coming in. See if EG can get the kill quick enough. They're struggling to kill him as sort of the pace that they would hope for. RTZ continues to push on, will get him. They lose Crit in return. We'll see if RTZ can get out of this. He has the Infest, is able to jump into Arbed, and Arbed, with a Remnant at the ready, will be able to deliver RTZ back to safety.
That was close. If that stun catch, it actually almost catches the both of them there, could potentially be a disaster, but they do end up cleaning up Whisper. They do get a trade out of it though, so BeastCoast not the most fussed about it. We did see how tanky he was there, that brew. Even though he's only got the 1 point in the Drunken Brawler, he did have that Ogre Frost Mage, I believe, that Ice Armor.
Yeah, they're able to buff him up, but
has fallen.
quite able to keep him alive long enough. A nice read there from EG to know that they could get away with that sort of an aggressive play. Something they struggled to do in the early stages of Game 1. You know, already 11 minutes in, 5-3. EG definitely going to be feeling a lot better out of the laning stage than they did at this point in the first game of the series.
Absolutely. I mean, night and day difference. Nice Stinger, I mean, look at this positioning from the Chen. He's up here alone, trying to pressure Arteezy in the tower. He's getting a lot of damage on top
Bottom lane. Another split, and another attempt at a kill on towards Nightfall's Beastmaster. He'll turn with the Roar.
Oh, Roar's the win, Panda. Make sure he can get away. Okay, in the Moonlight Shadow, they'll be able to reset. That was a cool move, though. While we were looking, you know, the play happening bottom, the Chen was actually making sure that he kept the catapult alive as long as possible, top with his creeps, and just like kind of sacrificing them.
Oh, good chain setup. Arrow. Quite able to land it there, a little too far away, too much travel time.
But they're forcing them away from the tower. So tier 1 is likely to fall here with that dominated creep also coming in. Totally different game state, as we said. This time they're able to get 2 towers on the side of EG early game. BeastCoast not able to set that tempo yet.
Might be able to get Stinger here. Fly. He's got him. Quick frostbite, and the setup's there for Arteezy to pick up a nice bit of bonus gold. Gets the kill.
I mean, look at his positioning there. A little aggressive there from Stinger.
I mean, he's been sort of living life up on this top area of the map for quite some time. The arrow, swiftly done there. Arrow is already coming in, and Arbed able to make sure that Chris is held in position to hit bang on target.
I mean, these two BeastCoast heroes completely in no man's land. Nobody even relatively close to them. The ward, of course, coming into play there from EG, kind of seeing that the Lesh was alone in that top lane. Good movements, 5-5. Still seeing the Nog at the top, but not by too much. Arteezy is keeping up. And he's actually going to go back for the armlet.
Yeah,
that's kind of
for sure. I mean, as you said, you know, Armlet, you always want to have it on Lifestealer, but of course going for it this way around the Maelstrom into the Armlet when he knew that he was going to be able to play this whole top half of the map completely uncontested, you're going to end up with the 2 items quicker than if you did it the other way around.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah. Now they have double Maelstrom, so the Naga Siren for the early game is showing up. Pretty difficult for Hector to really do so.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
closer we do this. Helm of the Overlord. Helm of the Overlord is just about done, 600 gold. And Stinger, I mean, if he wants to save up the gold, he can do the option of going for that shard early. Right now he's got that drum queued up, but we'll see if he opts against it if he sees Nightfall. Pick up that Helm.
我正午，我反哺，我正午，我又反哺啦！
So they get around mid.
Yeah, almost Bloodstone also on Chris Luck. It's still quite fragile. We see the amount of burst damage that EG has this game. It's very different from last time.
Oh, for sure, and of course RTZ. In terms of the nature of the lifestealer, he's able to put that rage and just get straight on top of a hero like Delesh.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here. We'll have a quick replay. There we go. Some very calm communication there between EG as they make that movement up towards that top lane, get the kill.
Yeah, they're just kind of, it sounded like they're mostly just calling the positioning of where all these heroes are, whereas the Naga always keeping tabs, of course, of where K1 is. Because if they look to make an aggressive move, have to be careful, because that song can come in, things can get turned around, so keeping tabs of where K1 is definitely going to be important. Quiet game, though, in comparison to the last one, 5-5.
Yeah, which I think will come as a big relief to EG. You know, very much in the early points of last game, the struggle was just kind of keeping BeastCoast under control. BeastCoast were getting away with so many kills, so many aggressive plays. This time around, EG able to match it and get that little bit more value from the map so far. Slight lead here, 1K gold advantage.
At some point, they definitely do want to apply a little bit more pressure. They will, of course, have these like Maelstroms and Mjolnirs, of course, for the Naga Siren, but you know, we see how much you can actually just like cut the waves. They don't want to constantly be like dealing with all these waves at some point that Hector will be addressing, so see what they do. Because their lineup, it's a little bit more pick-off oriented, you could say, on EG in comparison to BeastCoast, which, when they do have the Brew ult and they have the Chen ult, it's a lot more team fight-centric.
You can see here with these moves, EG trying to find which area the map K1's playing from with his main hero, but good read from K1, he'll back out of the map completely, so they won't find him.
He can be fight-ready. He's actually gone for the Diffusal build early on here on the Naga Siren, so could even look to, if he gets like a grab onto Abed ever, that could much set up for a kill. Now the Roche.
Okay, yeah, I mean, the Beastmaster in his army. Decent damage as well from RTZ. They can tank this up with the summons and look to go for this.
Yep. Oh, they're rotating over though.
They're taking it down pretty quick though, EG. So BeastCoast, they'll have to make a move soon if they want to try and stop this.
They do have the song in a second. The Naga's
It's already gone. Abed able to get the kill, get the Aegis. We'll see BeastCoast now popping the ultimates. Whisper leading him with the primal split, but EG, they themselves are split up.
Look at Crit.
They see him. They're going to see him now. Moonlight comes to an end, so Crit will die.
Oh, and also they catch Fly, it looks like.
Abed's also got to be a bit cautious. He has the Remnant at the ready to dodge the split up. But indeed, the two supports are going to be in trouble. Fly's going to do a fair bit of damage to Whisper with the ultimate, but he will still slowly die. Back over towards the mid. Actually, Gajira's able to get the stun out for two of them, but Nightfall, right, has the roar ready. Turns towards Gajira, they'll take out the next assassin, and now RTZ's ready to chase down more. Gets a double, takes out Stinger. As EG might be able to keep this fight going. Changes there from Abed, but he's starting to lose his mana. Chris turns, looks for the stun. Nice sidestep there from Abed. Abed still ticking down very low. That's the Aegis gone. As he's down the ones, they've got to be careful about this Lesh. Chris charging through the middle of the fight. So when to burn down Nightfall, so they can kite him out of control, and further TPs are coming in. They're surrounding the Leshrac, but they're being careful how they commit for this. They know that Chris is very, very strong here on the Lesh. And EG, they won't be able to hold him back. So Chris manages to get back out of there. A nice bit of action for EG overall. Sure, you know, BeastCoast, they're able to take that Aegis quite quickly out of the hands of Abed, but RTZ able to turn up, get some kills. He's got a continued clean scoreline here, 4-0-0 on the Lifestealer, and enough money to pick up that Sanj. So now between the Maelstrom, the Armlet, and the Sanj, this Lifestealer is pretty darn strong. 17 minutes in, he can absolutely turn up to these fights as we've seen, and he's not easy for BeastCoast to deal with.
No, absolutely not. Chris, got the arrow on him.
Gajira's ready to back him up, turns with the stun. Hold back Crit with that stun, and now Chris turns, heals up with the Bloodstone. It's the split up onto Fly. Crit tries to leap away, still ends up dying to the DPS.
Constant battles. The rule is 30 seconds until it's back up after all that finishes. And honestly, I mean, out of all of it, it looks like Chris actually comes out the most ahead. Right? That Bloodstone coming back up at the end of the fight, able to replenish him and kind of walk through and reset. Pretty huge for him. He's actually overtaken the Ember now.
For sure. One sort of Yeah, the first heroes are accounted for, the ults have been used,
Yep.
Raw goes down. You know, we saw how confident Chris can just sort of walk through the middle of the fight.
Yeah,
To make sure that he's in position to be kicking out as much damage as possible. See top lane, Hector will play it safe. Goes for the Song TP.
And the one thing too is like they've itemized now at this point, right? The armlet, the maelstrom. This is to deal with the Naga Siren. This is this consistent damage that's going to be clearing out these illusions. It's not this big like desolator, this chunking damage that can eat the Leshrac. So Chris, you know, he could maybe get away with quite a lot in this game.
They want to try and go for him, take him down in with the chains into the arrow. They'll certainly do so.
They changed done.
Solid catch here from EG. We're seeing if they can push on for more. Jump forward with the Remnant. Arbed attempts to close the gap on Whisper. We'll hold back though.
It feels good.
Try it. Maybe they do want to dive the tier 2s. If they catch him around this area, if Whisper steps out, they might go for a kill attempt.
The ward's placed.
Yeah, they'll see it.
Probably seen though. BeastCoast probably going to be able to get rid of that one quick. And you know, we did get to see a couple things also in these last situations. So much happening. But Chen, we did see he went for the shard, so he's going to be stealing those ancient creeps consistently from the Beastmaster. Chris needs to be a little more careful how far up he is alone. Sure, he's got the hand of God in some situations, but it's a lot of burst damage still from EG. Especially if they have everyone on top of him like that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Very close game, 10-8.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Still playing in this aggressive position, EG. Maybe seeing if they can do something early about the tier 2s.
I mean,
TPs are coming in. I mean, BeastCoast, they will take a fight if it
Is under attack.
gets presented to them down here.
got their ults ready. EG's just waiting to see if like someone, like people trickle in one by one, because their heroes, they do have burst if they find them in the 1v1, or in the 1v like 2v3, etc. But if it's a 5v5, it can be a lot harder for EG.
This tier 2's falling pretty
Big
quick here
push.
to the push of EG, and in fact, it's gone. So an early tier 2 tower taken down. At the same time, Stinger, he's really trying his best to get a trade up top. And EG side, they will TP back. Push Stinger away in time. He's going to go for the TP in the trees. And they won't know that he's there. Nice little spot to hide in as Stinger gets away. Won't get the tower, but still able to do a lot of damage on that top lane.
It's the Chen minigame. You know, it starts to happen at these points when everything's just split pushing. They have the Naga Siren, so it's just natural for him to start doing this. Getting a decent amount of farm to level 10 already with the drums, with the shard, medallion too. A lot of different ways to buff up and keep the Leshrac in particular alive. With a plate mail now too. Chris Luck sitting at 24 armor, 2200 HP.
CRT was considering sort of what route he wanted to take. Was up to finish the Mionette. Also was thinking about the Halberd and the Skadi. I mean, what would you sort of imagine is top of the list from next? Does he want that bit of evasion, or does he want to have the Skadi to kind of deal with some of this sustain that the Lesh is able to survive off the back of in the fights?
Could depend on how successful the next fight is, right? Like if he gets a couple kills, maybe just cues the Skadi. If not, maybe just wants the Halberd. It's a really good Halberd game, so he probably wants that anyway. Versus Naga. Naga never wants to build the True Strike. Heart now finished up, K1.
He's going to be pretty hard to kill, even with that Mionette.
Yep.
He's able to sort of split the fight with the illusions, get them on some of the supports. Now, RTZ's going to have his work cut out in terms of trying to just clear through this army that K1's going to be involved in the fight with.
They'll have to stick on him for so long, and he does have a lot of different ways to bail him out too, right? The Brew, the Sleep, the Hand of God, of course, from the Chen. What each you can find.
Dire's bottom tower
Best is inside Abed. He doesn't have the BKB quite yet on this Ember Spirit, so still has to be very careful of Carapace.
Yeah, Gojira playing nicely around the sentry they've got down. Is that EG won't manage to find an entry into the fight from this spot.
Gojira mostly is just like playing either around the Naga or the Lesh, just waiting with the Carapace, right? Because if that instant jump comes, he Carapace and they can turn it right away onto the Ember Spirit.
See what they can get to with this smoke. EG were pretty aware of this. And indeed, with the scan hitting, they'll certainly make sure that everybody's back under the safety of their structures underneath their towers. So BeastCoast weren't able to get a catch this time.
Having to avoid fights a lot, though. And look at the map state. Look at the way that they're able to just keep everything forced in onto the side of EG. BeastCoast, this Naga Siren's starting to be a problem.
It is. It's not easy for some of EG's members to deal with these strong illusions with that heart.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be either the Lifestealer or the Ember to clear out the waves. They can't be at every single one of the lanes. As top now, Glyph is popped, but that is the tier 3 Glyph. Actually, I'm lying. It's a tier 2 Glyph. I'm sorry. I thought the mid tower was there. So we'll have it reset at the very least.
This is the thing, though. If EG don't find fights and kill score stays pretty stagnant, you are going to see quite the difference in what K1 as a Naga Siren is able to clean up from the map in comparison to Arteezy on the Lifestealer. Already
Absolutely.
a 3,000 gold difference, and that will only grow unless EG can make some sort of move.
But the thing, it's just difficult for them to look for the move because, as we said, you know, their lineup, it does want to look for these pickoffs, but when your lanes are all getting shoved in,
so much
it's hard
pressure
for you to find any of these pickoffs. And BeastCoast, really, they're sticking together quite a lot here.
Yeah,
now
okay.
looking for even go for this next tier 2.
K1's been just microing the illusions perfectly on this sort of mid and top lane. 2 lanes consistently held right up to the high ground of EG.
Dire's middle tower is
Chris also having his Lotus done. I believe the Ags on the Brew about to be finished too. So BeastCoast, they're hitting quite a few timings here. EG, trying to feel what timing they're going to feel where they're like, okay, we can actually go for this straight up fight. It's, you know, they've got all these items, but when are they actually going to look for that real big on team fight versus BeastCoast? It does feel a bit difficult. And with if BeastCoast is able to consistently keep these lanes pushed in, at some point, you know, Roche is going to start coming back up. EG's going to have to look to make a move. 2 minutes until we do see that, but let's see when they do look to make that aggressive move. It's going to be now. They're smoked.
K1 not going to be able to offer up the catch there top. I mean, EG do look like they're interested in taking a fight here.
Difficult.
See how they can start it off around the board.
Nice Stinger.
The Frostbite, they'll go for the Roar on Stinger. Nightfall commits with the BKB. They want to kill off the Chen. They'll do so very quickly. See if they can change. Well, they look towards K1. Back up to the safety of his own high ground. And looks like EG, they'll just manage to get the 1 kill for now with that commitment.
Okay.
With the Roar down, they might have to be careful themselves. Arbet steps forward. Pops the dust. Will be able to dodge out the stun. Arrow ends up getting blocked by the pit from BeastCoast. So no connection there.
That was pretty close. Almost gets Carapist, almost gets stunned from the Lash. They'll find a kill on the Chen, but Chen now respawning. They're going to have to reset. Deal with their lanes again. I think that's actually one of the better kills if they can get it like that, because it prevents so much healing. So much chaos that will kick off.
It does just feel like, you know, K1's Naga Siren, it's getting out of control. He's pretty much got the Skadi done.
He's really going to just probably deal with all the rest of the heroes and isolate the Arteezy Naga Siren at some point.
I mean, Arteezy's really got his work cut out in terms of build. He's going to go for the BKB, picked up.
Okay.
Again, we saw being a similar approach from the Lifestealer earlier today against the PL, just making sure they can sort of stand in the fight, not have to worry about the mana getting burnt through, and just giving themselves that extra time between the Rage and the BKB to just stay alive and just keep hitting this Naga Siren and trying to clear out her summons, the illusions as well as herself.
Stun. We'll connect on top. GG mana. It's time. He doesn't have the mana for Rage now, but they don't have anything else to catch him yet. And that can't quite.
Whisper does pop the split. He's going to try and set up for some kills here around them. It will get Fly.
Yeah, I think he's like, they're just avoiding us constantly. Like, he just wants to look for something to use that split. And now Roche is up.
Roche is indeed. It's there and ready. So BeastCoast, they could definitely look to just step into the pit and start going for this. They have the song to rely on if they need to bail out or sort of set up a fight outside of the pit. And EG, only the 4 of them up. It's not going to be easy for EG to get in on this. You already see Kajira in his position. He's giving great info outside of the pit. In fact, he's able to line up a 2-man stun to start things off here.
Roche is gone already.
It already is. Aegis picked up on Chris. EG, they've got to run. Nightfall pots the BKB. Arbed will go with a couple of remnants, but he's still pretty close here to BeastCoast. Ends up losing his courier on the way out. Arbed, at least himself and the hero, will keep the distance. But he just picked up on Chris. BeastCoast, they're ready to come running down the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, EG, they found like the one catch on Chen, but now, you know, when are they going to be able to deal with the Naga Siren? This Naga is just getting way too out of control. Same thing with Chris. He's the one carrying the Aegis on this Lash now, too. They're going to go for high ground. Flip is available. But they're going to have to pop it pretty early because that Edict.
I mean, how do they deal with this? I mean, say K1 27 minutes in, Holt and Skadi.
He held the Edict. He actually baited the glyph. He lifted his hands, canceled the animation. So they've got Edict now for the push. He's sitting
great stuff here for Chris.
This tower is going down. The Rax also.
I think maybe more, yeah.
Uh-oh, EG.
EG's out on the map trying to pick up some farm. Arteezy will TP back. He is able to finish off the BKB, so he's got his next item done. See if this makes much of a difference in the fights, though. Range Rax will go down, and BeastCoast, they'll back off for now from pushing for the melee.
They still have 20 seconds left on split, so they maybe wait for like 10 or 15 seconds before they look for that fight. Gojira trying to catch a cheeky stun, won't get it.
Not easy. The Rage here. BeastCoast.
They're still lingering in the area.
I mean, they're keeping, again, both of these lanes consistently pushed into the high ground, top and mid.
I mean, they're ready for fights. Like, the Bruce split is ready. Bottom lane, though, pushing in. They're going to send the Lesh to take care of it. Still sticking in the area, though, with K1. Denying away this farm from EG. 6k gold lead. EG, they see the Lesh bottom. They're trying to make a move out to catch something. Dead. Naga just getting bigger and bigger. Lesh getting bigger and bigger.
They're going to try for a move in.
Gotta get something big. EG, they need to find something.
Vested into Nightfall. He's ready to try and play off the back of a Blink Roar initiation from the Beastmaster. There's an Arcane Rune in the river, though, so Chris, he'll have that ready for the next fight. Still with nearly 3 minutes on the Aegis, it's not easy for EG to jump anyone outside of the supports. Flight will start to try to start things here, and we'll follow up onto Stinger. They'll get the roar off as well.
Okay, they'll get the 2 supports. Pretty good grabs.
See if they can do anything off the back of killing the 2 supports.
They gotta fix the lanes. Lanes are all constantly pushed in, either from the Naga side or from the Chen creeps. Their whole jungle is actually also just being farmed from Chen. Like, I was just looking, I'm just watching the Chen microing all of his creeps, and he's taking all of the farm away. So still tons of pressure on the map. They do get at least 2 kills out of it, but it is just those 2 supports, and now bottom tower looking to drop.
Bottom tower is under attack.
BeastCoast, I mean, the macro game, very nice so far. Making sure they don't lose K1 at all so far. 0-0 and 2.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Indeed. During the time those 2 supports were down, nothing more that you really could get other than some increased sort of space on their own half of the map in the jungle. That there was not going to be an aggressive play made by BeastCoast, but fortunately for themselves, not enough of kills to do anything aggressive and really deal with the push that's coming in, because already Chris, he's back up to the high ground on the bottom lane.
They're gonna pop the Rax glyph. Wanting really to hold on to those tier 3s. Don't have another glyph after this. Now the push continuing.
Not easy. He's gonna try and get in on the fight. Steps up towards K1. Nightfall, he has the roar.
Got the song off.
Get the arrow as well. Rage into the BKB. So a long time here that RTZ is gonna be able to continue to beat in onto the Naga side, but it's still just not enough damage. He's only down to pretty much half health here, K1, as he backs away. He'll kill Chris. That's the Aegis gone. A quick infest here from RTZ as he looks to stay alive. They'll get the opening stun onto Chris. Out to the side though, Arbet's been held up by the split up.
K1, he's in trouble.
RTZ chase him outside of the base. K1's getting low, falls to the side. They're trying to separate K1 from the lifesteal, and they'll be able to do so. K1's fine for now. RTZ also falls back up to the high ground of his own base.
He connects.
Nice little arrow there onto Stinger. So once again, EG, getting the 2 supports, taking that Aegis away a little early from Chris. Definitely a defense here coming out from EG that, all things considered, they'll be pretty content with.
That was an absolutely beautiful fight. Everyone's sitting at like 10%, 20% HP on EG, jumping in and out, getting these connections. Making sure that Chris Luck can't actually use this Aegis to its maximum. Almost even getting K1. That was a really good hold from EG.
Yeah, we're definitely
getting that roar off as that song kind of comes out with the
at the same time, pretty much. And indeed, you're seeing exactly why you go for this Rage BKB build. It gives RTZ this maximum amount of time, even during the song. You just keep hitting the Naga Siren, and we saw that ended up getting down to about a 3rd HP at the start of that fight. If RTZ is able to get that halberd done and then some sort of damage item, and during that sort of setup, he'll have a good chance of killing K1.
That was before they picked up quite a few items too. Abed now has an Aghanims done too, so his damage is going to be quite a lot higher in this next fight. And they're looking to get aggressive. They're actually looking for more.
See what they can make a quick jump towards. In with the Remnant, Abed. Quickly sweeping the map. He's managed to get his way over towards Chris.
He's got Lotus though.
And the tier 2 arrow is going to hit. Chris gets the angle. As Chris going down, EG, they'll definitely want to try and continue to fight on for more. Kajira turns with the sun onto the 2 of them. Indeed, over towards the mid lane. They have the raw set up onto K1. No further damage output for now, though, as K1's got the backup of Stinger.
Nothing to stop the CM ult. We'll clear out all those illusions.
TP over from Whisper.
EG now looking to bail. Another net.
Trying to fly, so they want to try and tackle K1. I mean, RTZ is going to go for the squishies first. Go straight for Stinger, takes down a second support. See if they can get K1.
BeastCoast.
Very much for sort of the first time this game where BeastCoast are the ones that are having to play a little more cautiously. around EG.
EG's definitely found their footing of timing really for the Lifestealer to stick on his targets, right? It really is. This BKB, his Halberd also making him super tanky, and he does have that Ghoul Frenzy talent too, so can stick on those targets a lot easier once he gets that initial hit.
I mean, and what is the item here for Arteezy? He's got 2,600 gold saved up. Does he want to get the Skadi still to sort of limit the heals of the Leshrac with Bloodstone, or do you want to see him get some sort of straight up damage item?
Oh. Honestly, Scotty,
he's got a lot to think about here, Arteezy.
It feels like they're gonna start getting more and more damage for the Ember Spirit, so I wouldn't blame him if he does go for the Scotty. It is so valuable versus that Leshrac, as you're mentioning. Because he could also, I mean, we'll see. They could also still get like the Mage Slayer Bloodthorn kind of build. I'm not sure who's gonna go for that, but it's always pretty valuable versus Lesh. So yeah, we'll see which one it's gonna be.
Look at this.
He's actually got his shard damage too.
Again. Quick kill onto Gojira.
So Abed, he's got Ags plus his shard, so watch for these remnants. Level 18 also, of course, was hit in that last fight. So his damage is going to be a lot higher versus that Naga Siren too.
G themselves, they might have a bit of a chance to push up towards the base here. They're bringing the creeps in on the mid lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A good sort of vision here towards the move that K1's making over towards the mid. Looks like they'll still
Abed
hold back a little bit here, EG.
Yeah, Abed, he keeps a remnant there, goes back, is starting to clean up the counter push.
Look at a bit of a setup
in the area.
So Arteezy will be thrown into the air by Whisper. Arteezy popping the rage. He's going to try and get on top of K1. Look at the illusions now. Turns now over towards Chris. The rage finishing. Arteezy's got to be careful. Gets caught by the split. We'll be able to force him back to safety. Infest into fly. He's fine for now. He's gone. Arteezy trying to go for round 2, but as soon as he comes out Infest, they catch up with the opening stun. Will manage to get the BKB off, and with that BKB duration, stays on top of Stinger. Arteezy now godlike. He's ready for more. Turns towards Gojira. Rage at the ready. So after the BKB comes to an end, Arteezy can continue to push on. In fact, no, he's going to opt to use the rest of the rage to TP out.
He gets bashed. I don't even think K1 actually got the hit on him there, but that was close. They actually got the stun there. Gojira, the two-man stun, it catches the Lifestealer and the Beastmaster in the back, so kind of splits the fight up. EG do get pushed away.
I mean, yeah, Arteezy making the correct call at the last moment to get out.
Yeah, that was
realized that the fight was not going quite as good as maybe EG felt they could get it going. Okay. Choosing the right moment to bail out. But now, 3 heroes dead on EG.
And we do see that Arteezy actually has gone for, I believe it was the Basher, yeah, but so he's going to go for the Abyssal to stick on targets instead.
See if they can hold back. K1 here is onto the barracks.
His BKB is cooldown, so Arteezy does have to be a bit careful how he uses his rage.
Absolutely, we're seeing that the rage alone, not enough for Arteezy to learn in the midst of a team fight.
So many chain stuns that can come out from Gojira as well as the Lesh. So yeah, we see this one again. I think the stun is going to come in a few seconds right around this moment when Arteezy backs up. It's tough to stick on the Naga Siren, you know, even though they do get this connection of chains, he is still very tanky, and they have to be very careful with these supports, you know, if they get caught at all from a Lesh, at all from a Naga Siren, they're just dead. And yeah, here it is, the stun from Gojira. Boom! Catches the 2, catches the Beast. K1's able to focus fire.
Absolutely, and he's sort of stun that allows K1 and the illusions to close in on a hero. Not going to stand much of a chance against this massive Naga Siren here, 28,000 net worth. K1 just continuing to grow at an incredible rate. Has yet to die this game.
Rosh in about a minute. So I've got an Arcane Rune inside of Chris Luck's bottle. Giving more stacks, continuously level 20 on the Lesh. 20 on the Ember. You still keep killing this Ags, of course, from Whisper. Stun does connect, starting to burn away some mana. I mean, mana is pretty important on Arteezy.
That is.
Rage and BKB, like look at Halberd, Rage, BKB, like he actually has to be very careful how he uses these. Now he has Infest, so he has 240 mana.
Gonna get the jump on Chris in the mid. The rest of BeastCoast have tried to make an aggressive move on towards Fly, but Chris was left behind, and EG, they move immediately to punish that.
Great Infest blink play there from Nightfall on Arteezy.
Get around the mid now.
Ooh, might be able to get Gojira too.
K1 is around, and the mana's gone on Arbed. K1 turns, has the root, has the bash as well, holding him in position. As he steps across, there's no saving Arbed.
I mean, his diffusers, it's really being a problem for the BKBs, right? They keep getting burnt, they can't pop their BKBs because of it.
And you see as well, Chris committed with the buyback. So he really wants to just join the push.
They know
or maybe go for the rush. That looks to be indeed what they're going to do.
It's an Agonist too.
And they don't have, of course, control of the outpost either, EG, in their own jungle, so they can't really go for some sort of buyback play on Arbed either.
No.
They're just going to have to let this go here to BeastCoast.
And, I mean, is this one where you give it to the Naga sign? Probably, right? Because he can just net the Lifestealer through those spell immunities.
I think certainly so.
That's going to be really
anything
devastating.
higher up the list than that.
Oh, Chris takes it. Okay. I mean, the Nihilism also, in a way, could protect the Lesh, so we'll see. He takes everything. Oh, my. Okay. Takes the cheese and the angel.
I mean, he did buy back, you know. He wanted to make
fair.
sure he got his money's worth.
That is quite fair. Definitely could see the argument, though, for the X on the Naga sign for that, you know, that, of course, ensnare through the spell immunity, but... K1 also about to finish up a Bloodthorn. I mean, he's hitting critical mass soon. Maybe that's also why he's probably like, I'm going to buy an Aghanim soon, perhaps.
That is the thing, right? In terms of these two heroes, who's going to get the money quicker for their own axe? It's going to be the Naga Siren if the game continues on for longer. Mid lane, K1.
All three lanes are getting sieged.
And what do you do if you're EG? You've got to do something. They're going to try. Nightfall, he's looking for a raw target, turns towards Chris.
Lotus is up.
So be careful as he holds back on it for now. Arteezy's in with the bashes. They're bringing Chris down pretty quickly. That'll be him down the ones. Arbed jumps in. Caught up by the spike cameras, but the sector just does get yours into the air. Arteezy, he's focusing down the Naga Siren. K1's going to get forced the side. He's going to get the sword for Arbed. He's got the BKB up. Able to charge him with the Remnant. Take down K1.
But look at
He's ready
Arteezy.
for more. Looks like Royce Kajira inside the base. Arteezy, he'll die. Chris just charging into the disco party. Bodhi just destroying them all.
Holy crap. Chris just killed them all.
And there's no buyback on Arteezy. He's a hell of a lot short on the gold here. 1,500 gold he does not have here to get back in on the action. EG
Isn't done.
They're going to try and hold with the three. And indeed, Chris is ready to chase him back up towards the fountain.
God, the
Runs
nihilism.
down Nightfall, and he's not done yet. He's full HP, and he's got plenty of mana to play with. The buyback comes out from Arbed. As EG, they scramble back towards the fountain. They've got to try and hold and keep their cool here for 50 seconds now without Arteezy.
They're gonna get mega. And there's still the cheese as well on Chris. Oh my god, dude, the damage that he did. They focus fired K1, but they ignored the Lesh for a bit. Look at this, 12,800 damage.
This is at least going to be the mega creeps here. Can they really slow down BeastCoast for this 30 seconds? I don't know if they can.
I don't know if they can. 30 seconds seems like a big window. This Edict is about to come back up. It's got the 25 talent too.
The first tier 4 falls. The second shortly to come.
It's going
The
down.
ancient's exposed. It's BeastCoast, they're looking to close it up. EG, they'll go for one final attempt at holding back BeastCoast, but they're just focusing the ancient. EG, there's nothing to be done. GG is called. BeastCoast will be moving on. And this is the end of the road for Evil Geniuses this year.
Oh my, South America has taken out EG. Back-to-back series, 2-0 both
2-0.
times. Oh my god.
Dominance from start.